From the massive skirts and the strict gender roles of the Victorian era to the rebellious nature of the 1880s and 90s to the 1980s and 90s, led by the Princess Diana, there are two radically different ways the monarchy has led the way in society. From the 1800s to the late 1990s to the present, the English monarchy have been the leaders in social norms around the world. Many of these things that we think of America stem from English culture and their monarchy. And while I am no historian by any means, I have done a lot of research for my current trip to London that I'm going to in May, and as well for this speech. Queen Victoria influenced an entire era during her reign, from the fashion of the time to the traditions that we still carry on today. Princess Diana, almost a century later, similarly changed how the world views mental illness and how the monarchy interacts with the press. And now her oldest son and his family shape how the world looks at how monarchies raise children. Queen Victoria took the throne at the young age of 18 and reigned for over 64 years. The Queen's rule changed the way the common people looked at the monarchy, but not in the way that they ruled. Victoria influenced fashion, traditions, and gender roles of her time. When she first took the throne, the world mostly followed what Paris defined as fashionable. But as the Queen became more prominent, there was a major shift, and the world looked more to what London was doing. When she first took the throne, dresses were very skin tight and very flowy at the bottom, but whenever she got married and coronated, her portrait was printed on everything from just regular papers to brooches to ribbons to other jewelry. When anything she wore in her images, that became the fashion statement of the time. When she wore a crown of flowers on her wedding day, that became a symbol for the era to wear crowns on your wedding day. The amount of jewelry and the conservative style of her dresses all became emblems of that time because of her. Also during this time, the Christmas tree was adopted by England. Her husband Albert grew up in Germany and had a great love for the Christmas tree and the traditions there in Germany. The royal family was drawn around a Christmas tree and was published in the Illustrated London News and later in Goody's Lady's Book in an American publication. Both of these publications spread the use of Christmas trees, and now Christmas trees are in every home that celebrates Christmas. The last major area of the Queen influence was the gender roles of the time. The Queen once wrote, "The Queen is most anxious to enlist everyone who can speak or write to join in checking this mad, wicked folly of women's rights, with all of its attendant horrors, on which her proper feeble sex is bent. Forgetting every sense of womanly feeling and property, it is the subject that which makes the Queen so furious that she cannot contain herself. God created men and women different. Let them remain each in their own position." As you can tell from this quote, she was fervent in her belief that men and women, while equal, needed to live in separate realms. At this time, women were responsible for the home and the moral backbone of the family and to keep the house in order, while the man was in charge of making money and make sure the bills were paid and taking care of the family financially. From the 1800s to the 1990s, a lot changed in the way the public interacted with the monarchy, and there's no better example of this than with Princess Diana. Princess Diana was the people's princess, and she was much different than any of her predecessors before her in how she handled the public eye. She was not shy about speaking out about her mental illness and her bulimia, and her speaking out made it much easier for others who had the same issues to start talking to their family and friends about what they were going through. Diana also brought charity work to the forefront. She went to Angola and to bring awareness to the issues of landmines and to popularize a ban against them. She famously walked across a minefield to bring awareness. She made charity interesting and exciting for the everyday people, and to make it more less of a rich people thing and more of a everybody thing. The influence of the monarchy is not limited to the past, but the present as well. When Princess Diana's oldest son, Prince William, was married, all of the world tuned in to see his marriage. The trend continued with the birth of his children, and of course with Diana's other son, Prince Harry. While Prince William is the monarch, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, is who the world is following for fashion. When William and Kate were married, every woman wanted the Kate wedding dress, or Pippa, the maid of honor's dress. Everyone was fondling over that and was wanting it so bad. And now we look to her for her style of everyday, her blazers and her skirts. It is widely talked about in all of the popular magazines. Not only are we talking about the way Kate dresses, but also the way the family spends time together. The current royal family spends so much time together and takes a more active approach to parenting. It takes a much more active approach to parenting. One time there was a public engagement, and William knelt down to listen to what his son was trying to tell him, and immediately the Queen tapped William on the shoulder and motioned him to stand up, because in public you do not kneel in front of your children to hear them speak. And you can just see the divide between the generations and how Prince William and Duchess of Cambridge are trying to make it a more inclusive family gathering, family time. While I only spoke about a few of the many monarchs England has had, I think these monarchs best show the relationship the world has with the monarchy. Each generation changing how the monarchy treats the press, gender roles, and fashion. So next time you put up a Christmas tree, watch your favorite celebrity give back, or wear a smart outfit to an event, you remember that each of these originated with the English monarchy. Thank you so much.